Okay, welcome to the Monday night call. Thank you so much for being on, you guys. And thank you, those of you that are taking the time to listen to the recording from home. Tonight, we have titled this topic, The Big Picture. And I will keep it as short as possible. And I want to start with a letter that was on Carl Daikeler's fitness Facebook page this last week. And if you don't know who Carl Daikeler is, we're cutting you off the team. I'm just kidding. Carl Daikeler and John Congdon are our CEOs. Okay. This is from Carl. Speaking to those superstar coaches at dinner last night, I'm constantly shocked at the perseverance and patience these special people have. Took some of them like Trina Gray and Lindsay Matway a solid couple of years before they started to make any money that was meaningful, $1,000 a month or so. Yet even during the first year, when it was between $0 to $50 a month, they still focused on building. People think it happens overnight, but I've never heard that one time. And last night we were comparing the first 2 years in the business to a 2-year MBA program. How much money do you get paid per week studying for your MBA? Nothing. And when you get your degree, you have thousands of dollars of new debt. Then you start building a financial opportunity. In the case of coaching, you spend 2 years truly helping people get healthy and fit. And if you follow the training, you've got a business with a solid foundation after 2 years. I know it's not for everyone, but for those who go for it and stay after it, the rewards can really be substantial. So I wanted to actually tell you guys that, is that Tia? Is Tia on? Hi, Tia.
Yes. Hi.
Hi. I wanted to tell you guys, and you're welcome to take notes if you'd like during this call. I wanted to tell you what my experience has been like as far as earning. And I might need to let my dogs out because they keep barking at the door here. I started in 2012, and I signed up to be a coach, and I decided I was all in. I was all in. That is kind of my personality type. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna be all in. And I know it was the 4th of July weekend because I sat down and powered through the new coach training. It's in the back office. There's a tab called New Coach Training Academy. And it was a series at the time, I think it's 5 now, but at the time it was 12 webinars, and you had to like pause and take a little quiz, answer a question, and sometimes I would get the answer wrong, and then you couldn't keep watching until you answered correctly. So I powered through. It took me hours. It took me hours of sitting in a chair taking notes to make it through that New Coach Training Academy. It was the 4th of July. So in preparation for this call tonight, I thought I would go back, and I have never done this before today, but I'd go back and look at my income that July that I started, and then July of 2013, and then July of 2014. So in July of 2012, when I signed up to be a coach, I made $161.93. And I don't mind if you write that down, because I think this is fascinating and it speaks to the point here. Hold on a second. I'm calling my husband. Hold on a second. Jan, can you please let the dogs out? Can you please let the dogs out for me? Okay. So in July of 2012, I made $161.93. I'm sure that I started a challenge group at the time. In July of 2013, I made $1,830.78 in the month of July. $1,830.78. This last July, July of 2014, I made $3,351.98. So from $161, I made in 3 years $3,351 just in that month. And without like tooting my own horn, I will say that the reason that I found success is because when I get discouraged in this business, because I do get discouraged, and I have people tell me no, and I do work that I feel like, where's the reward? Where's the money for that time I put in? I don't see it. I spend a lot of money. You know, I've gone to Summit twice. That's expensive. Get on an airplane and fly and stay at the MGM Grand is expensive. I buy the products. And the reason I've been so successful is because when I get discouraged, I see the big picture, which is the name of this call. I see the big picture. I see this whole, you have to invest and the rewards will come later. I have like vision and foresight, and I'm not nearsighted by because there's dips. Like if you look at my income, which I did today, from week to week to week to week, sometimes it dips. It's not always like bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Sometimes it dips way down, and then it'll come up a little, and then it'll dip way down and come up a little, and then it'll come up a lot. But you can see the trajectory over time is an upward trend. And I believe that it's because, not because I'm special, but just because I follow what Beachbody says. I listen to the wake-up call. I invite. I run challenge groups. I do things that I don't even want to do. Like, I didn't want to learn how to do Zoom for the longest time. We were told through when the company started doing Coach Basics training, we were supposed to have some type of video conferencing, and it was recommended that we do Google Hangouts. And then a lot of coaches were saying that Zoom was better, and I resisted for like 6 months. I just was afraid of technology. I was afraid. I was afraid to start spending time trying to figure out Instagram. Right now, I'm resisting Hootsuite, but because Hootsuite is something that a lot of successful people in our business are embracing. And so I keep doing what the business and what leaders in the business say to do. And even if it's not something I necessarily want to do, I do it anyway. And okay, so then let's see. One thing that I really wanted to talk about specifically and spend some time on, and I don't have too much more content tonight, I think we can wrap it up in 5 or 10 minutes, is what it means to actually invite, because that is one of our vital behaviors. And I think my interpretation of the word might be a little bit surprising. And I have talked a lot with Jen Fuji about this term. What does it mean to invite? Because she and I had similar interpretations of the word. Basically, to me, I don't like invite someone every single day to join a challenge group. But every single day, I try to reach out to 1 or 2 people in a meaningful way, in a kind of active listening way, a meaningful way. Reach out to someone, and really, really listen to them. So to me, that's what it means to invite. To take the time to think of someone or a couple people each day that you're going to reach out to and speak to about their life, not about Beachbody, but about who they are and what they're going through. I also wanted to say that, let's see. I also wanted to say that a lot of people say no. In fact, I mean, Brian said no when I reached out to him. Jen Fuji told me no. She said no when I reached out to her. It was months later that she said, I want to hear about that now. I mean, more often than not, my coaches say no when I tell them about the business. They don't happen to be ready for it. And some are, but way more often than not, the answer is no. And what happens is that they're just not ready right then. I mean, who doesn't want to change their life? Our company, I think it's pretty undeniable and irrefutable that our company provides life change. And who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want to be living their life fully? Who doesn't want to be surrounded by motivating and inspiring people? Who doesn't want to be part of a team? Who doesn't want to be caring about their body, their nutrition, and their fitness? You know, but people aren't always ready right away. And I have someone as a result of our sneak peek that is going to sign up November 1st. And I met her, I think, about 9 months ago. And I knew that she was using some of our products, and I presented the business to her. There was an opportunity for me to present the business, and I did real briefly. And she told me no. But I had just met her. And so what I did is I didn't just say, okay, I have nothing to gain from you now. You're not interested in this business, so I'm not going to, I'm not going to care about you anymore because there's nothing in it for me. That's not what I did at all. In fact, the opposite. I made an effort to continue to listen to her, and pretty much just Facebook. I would like all of her posts that I could see, and I would comment on her posts, and I took an actual interest in her life over these months. So she gets the message from me that I care. I genuinely care. And I mean, imagine if I didn't. Imagine if she would have told me, no, I'm not. First of all, it was weird that when I met her, I brought up the opportunity. That's kind of weird. But the opportunity presented itself, so I took it because she was consuming our products and worrying about the cost of them. So I mentioned it. She wasn't interested at all. But do you really think she would have come around had I not continued to build a relationship with her? That's all. It's all about building relationships with people. And so I just, in dealing with her this week, I was just reminded so poignantly that as I look at my downline of coaches and I look at you guys, I mean, were you really ready the first time you heard about it? And if you were, like I happen to be fairly ready because of a unique set of circumstances and sort of a desperate financial situation, but I also totally trusted my upline. I totally trusted her. And I knew she had integrity, and I knew she would not back a company that wasn't solid. And but sometimes we're sharing the business with people, myself included, that don't totally trust us. Not yet. Like this girl who's going to sign up November 1st, she didn't know me. I didn't have her trust. I hadn't earned it. And I needed to earn that before she was willing to get on the ship with me and sail. And so that's all, is that we have to earn their trust. We have to build relationship. We have to earn their trust. And something else Jen said, and I keep mentioning her because I don't want to take credit for her thoughts, but they were really good because I asked her to help me with this call a little bit. Is she says to her trainers, you're gaining and losing clients all the time. Everything you do, you're gaining or losing clients. And everything we post, we're either making people on Facebook or social media think that we have good content or we have bad. We're worth following, we're not worth following. Everything we post, everything we comment, it needs to be excellent. And I think I'm preaching to the choir with you guys. I think you do an outstanding job of your content, of not blasting a bunch of white noise. I think you guys provide really, really good, worthwhile content. So I'm really preaching to the choir. I applaud you guys for that. But that is one way to establish people's trust. They need to see that, like, if you're a new coach and you're listening to this recording or something, if you're new, they need to see that this product works for you. Like Emily, let's take Rachel. Let's take her for example. If she comes and starts talking about Shakeology to people, I'm sure people in her life are going to want to wait and see. They're going to want to wait. I wonder if she's still going to like it in 6 months. I wonder if she's still going to like it in 12 months. I wonder if we're going to see a transformation. Like, people are watching us. They're taking note. Okay, so let's see. We need to be really consistent in our posts too. Beachbody says 3 to 5 posts a day. I think that's a lot, but that's what they say. That's what I try. I shoot for it. Let's see, one sec. Oh, I just heard this recently on a call. I can't remember which one, but it was a fairly recent wake-up call where we were told that it's best to not ever put our link on social media, like on a post, like buy from me and then the link, because it just comes off as so sales. It comes off as, what can you do for me? And you know what I mean? Instead of, if they're gonna ask you, they're gonna ask you. I mean, so I've stopped putting my link on there. I used to. Let's see. Back to the thing about inviting and what it means to invite and listening in a meaningful way. On the wake-up call last week, Melanie Mitro said that she wakes up every day and her goal is to add value to someone's life. And I was like, that's what inviting is to me. That's inviting. That's inviting. She just hit it. That's it. That's the vital behavior of invite, is to add value to someone's life every day. Okay. Some real quick housekeeping before I open it up to questions. Real quickly, I feel like our sneak peek group was awesome and fabulous, and that we did a really great thing. I feel like we're on to something huge. However, we did have a pretty strong attrition rate, meaning there were like 130 people invited, and like on day one, only about 70 people had seen the day one post, which means people that got invited weren't really interested, or they didn't know how to find the group because they didn't even see it ever. They never, we lost half of the people before we started. Maybe that means we're inviting some of the wrong people. I mean, some of the people, I invited 12 people, and some of them didn't get in there. There was this one guy I was so excited about. He never, and I even tagged him, so he would know where to look right before we started. And he never looked in there. And so I had, I made sure I had his permission and that he was interested before I invited him. So maybe he wasn't interested and he just was being nice, or trying to be nice, But so I'm not saying you guys did this. I'm saying we all did it. I did it too. Somehow we invited people that we lost. I'm not sure how and why, but I just want to call our attention to it. So then, like, 70 or so people saw day one, about 50 looked at day two, and at the end we had about 30-ish people looking at and commenting, and it was great. The content was awesome. Awesome, awesome. Now, Brian and I led that one, and we definitely can make it. We definitely have found some ways to tighten it up and make it better, make this less wordy, say this in a different way. We're definitely going to fine tune that so it's just turnkey ready. But anyway, I think that we need to keep doing it. I think we're onto something fantastic. I think it was absolutely amazing. I give us a B plus. I give us a B plus. I just think we need to invite maybe more strategically, or maybe the groups need to be smaller. You know how with a challenge group, if it's like 12 people, like everyone feels accounted for and noticed, and so they are more present. Maybe with 133 people, people were like, whatever, they're not going to notice if I don't look in here. I'm just one of 133 people that got invited to this big thing. They're just throwing a wide net. I don't know how it was perceived. So I think if we continue to have them every week, every 2 weeks, once a month, whatever we decide, I think we should invite better and invite smaller. And I'm totally open to suggestions on how to make that better. Okay, so then one more thing before we open it up, and we're right on time here with our time. In November, I will post this very soon because it's already the 27th. In November, we're going to do another sneak peek. We're going to have a mini new coach training. I'll probably lead that. Just a mini, like 10 days for your new coaches. I'll probably lead that. I'm not going to do the whole Coach Basics 60-day thing, but a super condensed version of it. I think Brian is going to do a coach to Emerald push. And he's not going to like make them come in there every day, but maybe like 3 times a week, something like that. And then I'm going to probably do Fuji. We're probably going to do an Emerald to Diamond push. So lots of new coach trainings in November. And I'll post those soon. Okay. Any questions, comments, any feedback on how we can make that sneak peek better?
I think small would be good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think smaller would be more, you'd have more of a community atmosphere and probably a lot more interaction with people. So smaller or better.
Oh, I know what I wanted to say something else about it. Seriously, those groups, I mean, Jen Embers, you're doing the Holly Hireman's business push, right?
Yeah. Yes.
When I've done that, I think I did it twice and I led it once, but it is unbelievable. You plant so many seeds in that training. It is so hard. It's like boot camp. But the thing is, you don't reap the benefits from that for like 6 months because you're just planting seeds. Those people need time to trust you. You need time to cultivate. So I always had a wave of new coaches come on after I had gone months after doing one of those. So I think that our sneak peek, we won't really see the true benefit from it for quite some time because all we did was just plant a bunch of seeds. I
agree.
Water.
I have 3 that are very interested, but I don't think they're going to sign up for like a couple of months at least.
I think that's normal.
Yeah. And I think our groups will get smaller just because we already invited all of our people. We're probably only going to each have a couple more people to add to the next one.
I think we were all inviting different people. Because I was inviting people that were like, I thought, on the edge. They're doing programs, they're using products. And I know other people were inviting people that had no idea what Shakeology even was. So there's a big variety there.
Right. I know. Like I think we ought to on the next one, even on the day 2, Brian, where we talk about challenge groups. I think we need to say what a challenge group is and not think that they know stuff like that. Like sometimes we talk the language like they know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Exactly, because I just think that everybody in that group, knew what a challenge group was, because why else would you be thinking about being a coach if you didn't know, what it was? That was my mistake, and my mentality was people already had a little bit of understanding of what a challenge group was, and they were using the product. So.
Probably most of them did. I don't know. Probably most of them did. What else? I think the videos should be shorter. Brian and I talked about. I'm guilty. Mine was too long. But I just think people, maybe that's, like, I was like, why are some of these people not coming back every day? Well, maybe they don't want to spend 10 minutes. We're asking to watch an 8-minute video and read a 2-minute blog most of those days. Mine included. My video was too long. I think they should be shorter.
And I agree 100%. I think that the video should be under 6 minutes, just because I think a lot of people didn't even click on the videos because they thought that they were going to be longer. Mm-hmm. And then an idea to keep the group smaller and more intimate is to do, a couple, like 3 coaches run a sneak peek, invite their people, so there's 15 people in the group, and then it's more like, oh, I know this person, and our last group was so huge that it was kind of like the masses.
Yeah.
So we could do that as well.
I think so too.
Well, even if people wanted to invite people, couldn't you essentially have several different groups and just post the same thing every day? I mean, I guess if there was a lot of back and forth, it could take a lot of time, but I mean, if it would create that like smaller community atmosphere, it might be worth doing several small ones.
I think that we're so, like, Brian and I talked so much after that one about how we could make each day a little bit better. So I think our posts are gonna, like, I thought there was here and there, I thought we could improve this or we can improve that, and he thought, oh, we can improve this or we can improve that. And I think we are almost at a point where we can just put those in a Word document that we put in the files of our group, so that, Emily, you can do one and you have the post for every day. All you need is 4 people to do a video, and these videos are on YouTube. You could take mine, you could take Jen's, you could take Brian's, you could take Tia's, you could take, Danielle's, you just, and you guys can do them on your own with with 3 people in them, and lead it yourself, because you'll have the daily posts. Let's see, what else?
I also loved the questions that people were asking, and at the end, the people that were really into it, like you could tell, and they were asking those meaningful questions. It was a very powerful group, I thought, at the end. Like, it was awesome.
It really helped to have like that one, like Janet, that one chick asking questions. I felt like
we could plant somebody.
Make a Facebook, like a fake. We should make a fake like person, and they can be like the. We could always invite them. And they could
question of the day.
Oh, all right, guys. Well, it's 30 minutes, so we better sign off, because I'm trying to be really committed to the 30-minute deadline. Anything else? Tia, thanks for representing California.
Yeah, of course. Everyone else was losers today.
Totally. All right, guys. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate your time. I know you're busy.
All right, you
Cheers.
too.
Good night.
Night.
Thank you.